right, everyone, this is Tim of the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. It's Friday, June 11th. You know what? It's been a long week. Went out, had myself a good breakfast, because it's still early here. And I will tell you this, I had a Western omelet, and what I like to when I get a Western omelet is I get a salad. And what I do with it, I get a green salad, and they have this lemon dressing. It's like a lemon sauce. Oh, it goes great with the Western omelet. Just another little Tim's tidbit before we start talking about the New York Football Giants. I wanted to talk about the secondary. The secondary seems to be the focal point in some ways of the Giants' defense because everyone assumes that it's going to be a top 5 secondary. And honestly, if you take a look at it and go back and think about it, it could potentially be that. And I was trying to think, where could this secondary rank? And I know it's early, but where could the secondary rank at a top Giants secondaries of all time? The Giants have had great players in their secondaries. Fantastic players. But have they really ever had like I can't really, and I went back and I thought about it, and I don't want to go back too far because people tune out when you go past, because no one knows anything past 2000. But I was thinking about it. The Giants have had individually great talents in their secondaries. Even going back to like Eric Barnes, who was in the mid-'60s, 4 straight Pro Bowls for the Giants. He makes 3 championship appearances, led the league in interceptions in 61. And, of course, you had Mark Collins from 86 to 93. He was a corner, of course, on the 2 Super Bowl teams in the 86 and 92 and the 90 teams. He got 17 career interceptions. He was a lockdown guy. He became a more of a safety over in Kansas City when he left. People forget about like Mark Haynes, who was from 80 to 85. Top corner, 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. 4th in the NFL in 84 with 7th interceptions. He was a lockdown guy, and so was his brother. You got Terry Kennard, who was the safety from 83 to 96. 83 to 89. Yeah. Good player. Of course, you got Dick Lynch. Going back a little bit far, going back to the early 50s from 59 to 66. Pro Bowler, first team guy in 63. I laugh because people forget about Elvis Toast Patterson. He was part of that secondary for the 86 team. He had 6 interceptions in 85. He was in the top 10 of plays. Pick off of Elway in the Super Bowl. Plus you got the nickname of Toast. He was burned so bad in Oakland, that's why they call him Toast. But he played well for the Giants. You got Jimmy Patton, who played safety for us in the mid-60s, essentially mid-50s and 60s. Jason Sehorn, of course, he was a very good player. Second rounder, part of 3 playoffs teams, had made 1 Super Bowl appearance. He had that big return against the Eagles from 94 to 2002, I think. You got Tunley, of course, All-Pro, Pro Bowler. First African-American to sign with the Giants, first African-American elected into the Hall of Fame, first African-American to be a full-time assistant coach in the NFL. Great player, great punt returner as well. And people forget about Corey Webster. Corey Webster, wow, man. Corey Webster was over in 2005. He had the big game picking off Brett Favre in that playoff game on the trip to the Super Bowl. Yeah, you also forget about Perry Williams in 86. Perry Williams was a 7th-round choice from North Carolina State. He played in 146 games for the Giants to the early 80s and 90s, and he won a Super Bowl in 86 and 89. So he was, if I had to pick like who was the best secondary, in regards to talent throughout the field, you got to probably go with the 86 team. But if you take a look at the Giants, the way they're constructed right now, the secondary, and this is interesting. Now, it's going to depend on a couple things. James Bradbury, of course, is a lockdown guy. Proved that last year. And I laugh because he of course, came over. He was a Gettleman pick. And I don't really laugh, but, I always thought he would be a good fit. And, someone told us they were going to sign him, and, of course, they signed him. But he's a good fit. He's a good lockdown guy. He does have momentary lapses in coverage, but they're far few in between. So, he's going to look great on that one side. And hopefully Adoree Jackson comes back from his ACL injury. And then, again, Adoree's a guy that has kind of an up and down career, but he's only 25. Fifth year in the league. He didn't. I mean, last year was his big major injury season. I've always said it before. Most NFL players are going to suffer some type of major injury if you have any longevity in your career. But if he can come back consistently from that ACL and play, that's a great guy to have alongside James Bradbury. You potentially have two lockdown guys. And then if you get into the safety positions, I'm going to get into the other linebackers. I'm just talking about the starters right now. But I will get it. We're going to get into the other guys. Hopefully you're going to have Xavier McKinney, I think, playing. I think he should be the free safety, only because of the fact that he's probably the best guy coverage-wise in safety that we have. Peppers, I would like to see stay in the box as a strong safety, only because of the fact that his coverage skills at times are suspect. He's better than Landon Collins, but not by much. And the same with Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan, to me, needs to be more of an in-the-box safety. But then if you also just look at kind of some of the depth, Julian Love, I don't think gets enough credit for doing what he does for this team. He does a little bit of everything. Only 23, been in the league already for 3 years. I don't know, 5'11", 195 pounds. He can cover. Would I want him as a full-time slot or outside corner? No, but if he's in the mix to fill in at corner and safety, I think he's a good fit for this team. I really do. I think he fills a need between the two positions, which you really kind of do need. And if we start looking at some of the other corners, this is where it kind of gets interesting as well. Because Isaac Yiadom, I always pick on Isaac Yiadom, but Isaac Yiadom has his moments when he is in man-to-man coverage. He's not a zone guy. He reminds me of them trying to make a press corner who was DeAndre Baker and make him into a zone guy. And Isaac's the same way. But Isaac's going to get burned. Isaac's going to have his problems, and quicker receivers are going to take him to task. But he could fill a need. He really could. And then if you want to go take a look at, of course, we drafted Robinson at a UCF. I watch a lot of UCF games. Like I said, we've got a UCF alum in the house. I think he's going to be a good cover corner. I think he's going to challenge Darnell Holmes in the slot, and he's going to try to take some time away from Darnell Holmes. But Darnell Holmes is not – a lot of people thought he had such a fantastic rookie season. He had an up-and-down rookie season. He probably didn't rank as well as he should have in reference to coverage. But again, like I said, I think two of the most difficult positions to play as a rookie is going to be quarterback and cornerback. And I think he came in and filled the need quite well for this team. I really do. And then you got guys like I'm curious to see about Quincy Williams filling in over. Another guy we brought in, another guy from Florida. Okay, so he came over from the Jets. Montre Harper came over from the Las Vegas team when we stole him because he was so fast, but he could never crack the lineup outside of special teams. I think he's going to be more just a special teams guy, but I do think we can probably try to see him a little bit more in coverage. But I think he could fill the bill a little bit and filling in some covers. And Sam Beal's going to get cut. Sam Beal. If I can't leave Isaac Yiadom on the side of the road, I'm leaving Sam Beal on the side of the road. But if you take a look at potentially the starting guys between Bradbury, Adoree Jackson, and I'm going to say Xavier McKinney and Peppers, and have either Holmes or Robinson in the slot, and we talked about some of the backup guys, especially with Logan Ryan and Julian Love. The Giants could potentially have, statistically, one of the best secondaries. And like I said, I think even some ways Isaac Yiadom can – I know a lot of people are going to probably fall over and die. I think in some ways Isaac Yiadom could come in and still fill a spot in a spot role. As long as we're not sitting there having him play an extended time, I think he could fill a spot too. And you got the two Williams. I don't think Jaron Williams is going to be around. But I think, if you take a look just at this front four, the first four guys, I think statistically they could be one of the best Giant secondaries we've ever had. Now, a lot's going to have, with some of the rookies gelling, a lot's going to have to be the fact that you got to have Dory Jackson come back and play consistently well. You're also going to have to turn around and see if James Bradberry can continue what he showed in 2020. You hope that Xavier McKinney progresses and is able to stay on the field. And you hope that Peppers, and I'm not worried about Peppers on Logan Ryan because, like I say, they're the strong safety quasi linebacker. They're going to stay in the box. But I think this could potentially be one of the best secondaries the Giants have ever had. And again, this is Tim Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, if you subscribe, you're going to play things that means that'd be awesome.